Pull everything dead here.
All right, I'm gonna call this public hearing order at 6:32. We're here tonight to hear comments from the public on the zoning change on a 50-acre lot just south of town. I'm gonna ask everybody to please be respectful of the person that's speaking, that has the floor. I have a lot of side conversations, this has happened in the past, and it's hard for everybody to hear and understand if other people are talking. Plus, that whoever's talking deserves the right to be heard. Like when it's your turn, you want everybody to hear you. So, with that said, we're going to move on. We're going to start with Mr. Josh Brooks. He's going to explain what his project is and where he's at now. This has been, we discussed earlier, off and on now for 2 years. I think you've gone through a couple of different financiers, and I think you found one that you really like this time. So, you know that is backing you 100%. So you want to see if we can get the project moving forward, and so I'll let you describe it. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Just to introduce myself a little bit, my name is Josh Brooks. I'm a local guy, born and raised here in Mansfield. Graduated from Mansfield, and actually lived here in Venus for a couple of years back on County Road 219. I like the town. I'm here on behalf of the seller of the property and my investor, who in the booklets, his name is Kurt Hodges, and he's also local. It's probably one of the best things that you could ever have for an investor, is a local investor, someone who does business here in Fort Worth or the area. But he's been in the mobile home business for about 40 years. He actually owns Legacy Housing, and we have been kind of going down this road with the city of Venus for a long time. I've been, a little bit about my background, I've been in real estate and mortgage finance for the past 15 years. And I've seen just some terrible things happen in the industry. I grew up poor. We grew up in a mobile home myself. Really never lived in a brick and mortar home. My parents still live in Mansfield. But I got into the business in mortgage finance, where the industry has just gotten to the point to where no one can purchase a home. Your friends, your families, your cousins, people that that want to buy a brick and mortar home, a single family residential house, they can't do it. Everybody knows someone who's trying to buy homes. Your kids that just can't get past the rules and regulations of the government that back these loans. Yeah, the banks are getting a lot more strict, and it's a real gamut at this point. So I got out of it. I got the opportunity to work for a very large manufactured home owner out of California. He's an owner out of California. I worked for him for 2 years, and I was a sales manager for a mobile home park. And I saw some really good things. I saw some bad things, and I saw some good things. But I've lived in brick and mortar neighborhoods and single family neighborhoods also, and I've seen good things and bad things happen in any neighborhood. The people that live in mobile home parks are just people. They're regular people. There's no heightened crime. There's no statistic that says that a mobile home park has more heightened crime. I know a lot of us lived back in the day of the old trailer houses that come up where they're stacked on top of each other, and They just letting anybody in, and there's no governing of the mobile home park. You know, today is 2016. I've sold and managed parks where retirees are coming in, paying cash for their houses, wanting to live in the mobile home park. They just want something where somebody maintains their house, maintains their yard, and they feel safe in a community that's thriving. And just to kind of go over some things, and a lot of people have a misconception about value with mobile home parks. And being in the industry for 15 years, people just, a lot of it just really just unknowledgeable information about how housing value is determined. Well, housing value determined, if you have a single family residence, your housing value is determined by the houses that have been sold within the past 6 to 12 months, that within a mile to 2 miles that are from your house. Now these are homes that have been sold, not a rental. It has nothing to do with a rental park. I've seen probably over 2,000 appraisals in my time, and not one had a comment to where they were concerned. Not one appraiser made a comment where they were concerned about the mobile home park that the house was backed up to. It has no effect on value. So if your house was worth $2,000 and your house is backed up against a mobile, or $200,000, and your house is backed up against a mobile home park, they're not going to look in the mobile home park for comps. They're going to look down the street at the same type of house that you have, 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, however many square feet, and that's where you get your value, or your neighbors, not the mobile home park. For example, I believe everyone's familiar with the city of Mansfield. The city of Mansfield has probably over 6 mobile home parks within the city limits. A lot of these were there before a lot of the houses were built around them. There's a mobile home park here. There's one right next to it. This is the same street. There's one right down the street from it. There's one up here, and they're all within almost a mile from each other. Now, the builders, the people that come in, these are the mobile home parks. They're all within 1 square mile radius. Now, the builders that come in are not afraid of these mobile home parks. These are the houses that sit around these mobile home parks. These are $3,000 and $4,000 houses that back up to the fence of the mobile home park. The parks were there first. The builders came to them. They didn't say, oh, well, it's a mobile home park, let's go get land somewhere else and just kind of skirt around it. They built up upon the mobile home parks. They were not afraid of them because they know that these mobile home parks doesn't have effect on the value of their homes. People are still going to buy. These houses are filled. These neighborhoods are filled. People are still going to purchase homes around the mobile home park. Now, all these mobile home parks are at least 25, 30 years old. They're older than me, a lot of them. I'm 38, I'm almost 40 years old. And a lot of these mobile home parks were there when I was being raised in Mansfield. And over time, with the right investor or with the wrong investor, over time, a mobile home park will kind of go down. Some people will bring homes in that are just unsightly. And then, you know, that causes then poor management of a mobile home park. That causes the stigma that you or the community sometimes feel that, oh, well, you know, it's going down and, you know, there's poor management and this is just going to be crazy. That's on the developer. I mean, that's on the owner of that park. The good thing about this, and Venus should be super proud of it, is that we have an investor who has endless pockets. I'm poor, I don't have any money. I came up with a great idea and I went and found it. It took me 2 years to find it. I went through 20 investors, and this guy is probably the right guy for the job. The reason why is because he owns a manufacturing company. He owns Legacy Housing. we're gonna always have beautiful brand new homes. Always. And our square footage for each lot is 4,500 square feet. So we're not talking jumping out of your backyard and jumping in, and when you take one step and you're in the next guy's backyard. You have a nice large yard with 1,600 square foot homes that are brand new in a beautiful community that's ran like an HOA. The good thing about this project is that we talk about within city limits. Hardly any of you know where the property is. I hear a lot of that. Well, where's the property? Well, you can't see it. If you're worried about looking at a mobile home park, this property is so well located that you can't even see it. I don't care where you stand in Venus. You have to go past the schools and then start looking to the north, and then you actually would see the mobile home park. If you're afraid to look at one, you would have to go and find it. This is where this mobile home park is within city. This mobile home park, the land was attached to the street, and somebody annexed it to the city. So we just got lucky. Found a great piece of property that was annexed to the city, that is outside, really, the city limits, close to the prison, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's going to have the look and the feel and the make of a brand new apartment complex. This is where the property is. I know a lot of you don't know where it's at. You guys know where it's at, right? Okay. The property is on County Road 214. Here's the town of Venus. Here's your town. The mobile home park is way down here. We are way out there. Raising property values is what we're going to do.
And taxes.
And
taxes.
Well, what's going to happen is our property value is going to be raised because we're going to be bringing water, sewer, a lot of that kind of thing, stuff like that we're paying for.
Where's the sewer system going to go?
Sewer system's right down the street where the schools are. So we're going to run a line right down the street.
Well, I mean, they're already too small now, because I can smell it, take my kid to school.
Mm-hmm.
So what's gonna be done about that kind of stuff? How's those kind of items gonna be increased, like the water pressure's already low? The
We're not
sewers-
even on city water,
Well,
we're on
here's-
a well.
Here's the deal.
So that wouldn't even affect us.
Our water is not going to affect your water. I've also been in meetings with Mountain Peak, and we have agreed, and you can look on one of your pages, where the Googled engineer Robert Childress at Mountain Peak. We're paying for a $75,000 water connection between Mountain Peak and the city of Venus. The only purpose is that is for we can have hydraulic water flow. And what that is that's just enough water that has to come through on a daily basis, just in case for an emergency, if a house set on fire, we would have to have that much water come through on a regular basis. Now what this does is that creates more water flow for the city of Venus. We're paying for the pipe. And the only thing it does for our park is if we have a fire, God willing, that never happens. But if we have a fire truck can come out, put out the fire without affecting any water flow at all. So the water connection, what that does is whenever the city of Venus runs low, that connection opens up. It's a water valve connection. It opens up and it continues the flow of water to the city of Venus.
I'm with Aquafina, so is that gonna mess up my water?
Not at all, no ma'am. No, no one's water, no one's sewer is gonna be messed up.
How many homes are you proposing putting on the 50-acre plot?
We don't know. You know, we know that the capacity of the park can hold anywhere between 100 to 300 homes.
100 to how many?
100 to 300 homes.
Okay, I got a question for you. The city of Venus is having enough trouble now maintaining those roads out that way. In fact,
No.
214 is in dire need of
214
repair as
cannot handle
well.
the traffic.
Now, here's
Okay,
here's
you're
another.
gonna add a lot more traffic, a lot more people, a lot more kids. Now, how can that not affect us?
Yeah.
Well, what happens, guys, is when a developer comes in, especially one with bountiful resources, when a developer comes in, roads are done, roads are redone. County Road 214 is going to look nice. If you're concerned about County Road 214, you've got a developer that's going to come out there and redo the street.
I'm concerned about the entire city of Venus.
That's right. No, I don't know the specifics, and I don't know how to word the verbiage yet.
Well, I wonder why they hadn't done anything in several years to it anyways. I mean, it's hard for us to
I
believe
think
it
that's
hadn't been
between-
touched.
I think that's between the city of Venus, but our plans as developer is when we go out there, we're planning, you know where the stop sign is, right in front of the elementary school?
We know that.
Mhm.
We're planning to start right there and redo that County Road 214 all the way up to the end of our property.
So you as a developer plan on doing that?
That's right. That's what developers do, you know, that we do roads, that's what's gonna happen. So we're planning on doing that road all the way up and to the end of the property. Yes, sir.
Respectfully, sir, I know where the property is, it's right at my front door.
Mhm.
Am I understanding that you, or the development, if this is approved, will be receiving city services? Is that what you think? Sewer, water,
Yes,
We-
will be getting city sewer?
Yes, they will.
City sewers, okay. Okay. Mr. Mayor,
yes, sir.
have you given any consideration to how the city of Venus is gonna handle the extra traffic
Oh, yes.
at the school in that area?
It is been discussed and we have a plan.
There needs to be a limit on how many homes, 300 homes on
Well,
50 acres.
First of
Yeah.
all, there is a
Lot.
limit. We've already discussed that with the developer and Mr. Brooks. They're only gonna develop in stages that the school and the streets can handle. They're gonna start off with, what we discussed, 75 to 100 homes, and they won't increase it until the roads have been repaired, fixed, new roads have been built, and the school has increased the size of their facilities to handle any additional children. Yes, sir.
Okay, so 75 to 100 houses, families. Our schools are already overcrowded, there's no way they can handle that. So in order for this to take place, the school would have to be increased beforehand.
That's already taken care of.
Right now, they're building 200 homes out at Patriot Estates. What are we gonna do with their children?
Along with another
Well,
suggested,
you're talking about putting
that's
more
already
in.
established, that's
I
already
mean,
established.
That's why the school has a bond proposal in May to increase the school size and system.
That's already an established.
Because,
place.
you know, growth is coming, whether it's in a mobile home, whether it's in a brick home,
Yeah.
whether it's in an apartment.
Does Venus have any statute of how big a property has to be for a home? I mean, there's gotta be here in town. There's gotta be a number
Wait
of
a minute, sir, what'd you say?
how big the property needs to be to put a home. I mean, are they planning on putting 300 houses out there? I mean, that's a lot of
depends.
homes on 50 acres.
The good, and I'll answer that.
That's a lot of homes.
The good thing about city ordinance is city council has a lot of control. If you read over the manufactured housing ordinance for the city of Venus, the council has a lot of control over what we do. A lot of control. It's almost like we can't do anything unless we get approval from city council. They have to approve our engineering. They have to approve everything that we do as far as moving forward. So the good thing about this is that the city has in place ordinances that handles those kind of things. Now, we plan, my investor and I, we plan to grow with Venus. We're not gonna come out here and put 300 houses out all at one time. We're talking about a year and a half before the first house even gets on the ground. There's a lot of engineering and construction to be considered, a lot of pipe laying, a lot of roads to lay. So there's not gonna be 300 homes all at one time. It's just gonna be in phases, for example.
So we're gonna have all those construction people too coming out there putting in
Right now.
houses, putting in-
Well, here's, no, that's not how it works. Your construction people
Yeah.
aren't gonna be in your way. They're gonna be on our property.
How are they gonna get on your property?
They're gonna drive there. They're gonna drive.
They're gonna go down the bad 214 road.
Yeah, and up 108, right in front of my place.
No,
Are you
we're,
gonna annex all 214 into Venus now?
214 itself's already been annexed.
214 itself is.
Just the
One at a-
street is, not
Excuse
the
me, one at a
properties.
time, one at a time. 214 is in the Venus city limits all the way up to the prison. It has been since the prison was built back
I thought it was
in the
just the
80s.
road, not the.
Well, it's just the road, yes.
Yeah.
Back, now, they changed the law, the state's changed the law, well, you can't just go in and annex roads and go out and grab property. But it wasn't that way for years, and back in the 70s and 80s, Venus did a lot of that. We annexed 109 all the way out to the, power,
213.
you know, supply station out there
Okay, yeah.
because TXU wanted in our city limits because our taxes were better than what Midlothian's was, and they's afraid Midlothian was gonna come annex them. But Midlothian is a home rule city, and they are governed by different laws than Venus. Venus is a type A general law city, and we cannot, on our own recognizance, go out and just annex property. The owner has to request to be annexed into a type A general law city like Venus. So, but
So if I don't want my property annexed into Venus,
there's,
you can't do
as
it?
long as we're type A general law city, and that's based on the size of the city, we'd have to grow to approximately 5,000 to 6,000 population before we could apply for a home rule type system. So, in the meantime, to answer you, ma'am, no, we cannot just come take your property and put you in the city limits.
Thank you.
But that does also mean, from what you're saying, that sooner or later you can push the little people out
How's that?
and bring in bigger people, a better class of people.
How do you figure?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're gonna be putting all these houses over here, and what about the people, the taxes going up and the water and being already, you can't even have a garage sale without a permit, you know, I mean, stuff like that.
If the taxes go up,
Can't
that
build
means the
nothing
property
without a
value is
permit.
going up.
You know?
But as long as you're not in the city limits, those ordinances don't apply.
Okay, so like if I,
You know,
Cause we live right here behind the high school.
at Rancho Villa, so.
yeah, it's still not the Venus
Right,
city
we're in
limits.
Johnson County, so this is not gonna affect us?
Not at all.
Nothing.
No, ma'am.
Well, as far as
Well,
I'm
not right now.
concerned, you know, the water
Yes.
system's not gonna affect you,
Yeah.
the sewer system's not gonna affect you. But I think you're on Mountain Peak, are you not?
I'm
No.
Aquafina.
We're on, we have our own well.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
private well.
All right, well, then
And
it
I
won't
want
affect,
214,
then that won't
I am
affect
Mountain Peak,
you at all.
so.
Yes, ma'am? I'm sorry. I'll get
Well,
you.
I have a big problem with this because, for one, we have some dead trees there and some of Venus's history that needs to be preserved. There's a windmill, there's remnants of a house, there's also a well. And on that property, yes, sir. And the hawks keep down our rat and our snake population and they hunt there. And hawks are a protected species. That's number one. Number two, we have a hard time with Venus's fire department helping us because they are volunteer and there's not a whole lot of them. And I'm not saying they don't do their job, because they do. Buzz here used to be the fire chief. I'm not saying that at all. But, you know, a couple of years ago, my father-in-law died in my front yard because it took over 30 minutes for the ambulance to arrive.
And fire department.
And the fire department. And that's not gonna change. That's gonna get worse with that.
Well, I beg to differ with you whether it's this or.
They're volunteers, they
I
can't.
understand, ma'am, but volunteers do the best they can, but if they're volunteers, they probably have a job. It's like, we are all volunteers, we don't get paid.
But that
being on
also
the
puts a
council.
greater demand on them.
And I understand, and with the greater demand, we're going to have to go like Alvarado did a few years ago, like Midlothian did, many years ago from a volunteer department to a full paid staff department where the response time will be better, but the cost will be more. It's like the gentleman said, our taxes are gonna go up. The firemen are not gonna work for free. The policemen are not gonna work for free now. In the meantime, CareFlight has started stationing an ambulance here in Venus versus in Alvarado, which helps a little bit on the response time. I know it doesn't help your situation, and my wife got sick about a year ago, and it took them 15 minutes to get to the house and take her to the hospital. And that's part of living out in the country. I'm sorry, but as we grow up, we're going to have our own ambulance system, we're going to have our own full paid fire system. But if we did it right now, your taxes would double. Yes, ma'am.
We're right on 214, right in front of the field. If you're putting sewers in, do we have an option to get connected to the sewer system?
Not until you're in the Venus city limits. You cannot be on a Venus system, water or, well, until you're in the Venus city limits. So you have to be annexed in to have that option. Yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're talking about annexing that in down there. Okay, you've got the Luation outfit, that community is annexed in.
Well, let me correct you. The property's already annexed in. It's been annexed in for over 10 years.
Oh,
All
the property
this-
he's talking about going on?
Yes, all this is changing the zoning. It's zoned
Okay.
agricultural right now, and we're discussing changing it so it allows mobile homes to be on there. It's just a zoning change.
Yeah, but what you're trying to do is make a little bitty piece of Venus here, a little bitty piece of Venus here, a little bitty piece of Venus over here, and it's all scattered everywhere. How is the fire department, the police department, and everything else gonna be able to take care of all this? Because we're not a big town, we are a little town.
But we're not gonna be little forever.
Well, we're not gonna be little forever, but we're little right now, and that's what matters is right now.
So we don't plan for the future? I mean, we have to plan for the future.
Okay, you have to plan for the future.
And in the meantime, if you understand what our ETJ is, and most of you do live in our ETJ, it's property that other cities, no matter what their situation is, as far as their home rule, cannot annex our ETJ land. And then when Venus is capable and that our people are ready to be annexed into this Venus city limits, we can annex that ETJ into our land. But other cities can't just come take it until the property owners or we are ready to bring them into the city limits. And that we are presently trying to expand our ETJ so we have a more consistent boundaries, instead of like it was in the 70s and 80s, they just went out and grabbed a piece here and grabbed a piece there, and it looked like a octopus city limits. We're trying to make it more of a congenial, but it's a process, and we have to go to the landowners and ask them to ask us to come to our ETJ. We can't just go do it. We have to have their request. Yes, sir, you got a question?
Yeah, the zoning change,
Yes, sir.
will that nullify the city ordinance against manufactured housing in the city limits?
No.
No. All it would do would be allow it on this piece of property, and these are not technically manufactured homes, are they? What you're discussing, putting out there is not technically manufactured homes, they're mobile homes?
Yeah, mobile homes and manufactured houses.
Yeah.
Manufactured houses, so it would just allow it in that particular area. It's like giving a variance, but it's a zoning variance in that one area. It's not, it will not open it up generally within all over the city.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You don't understand?
No, I really don't. If you have a city ordinance
Yes.
against manufactured housing or trailers, and this piece of property is in city limits, and the zone change doesn't affect that.
Yes, it does. It does. It gives it virtually gives a variance on that property.
Okay.
On that property and that property only.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I live just on the west side of that property. My backyard butts up to it. I would like to have a privacy fence there and a guarantee it they don't run a road through on Latham Boulevard.
The good thing about the city ordinance is it requires us to have a privacy fence.
I can't hear you.
It requires us, the city ordinance requires us to have a privacy fence completely around the whole park. The
So
city,
I'll have my privacy fence.
you will have your
Yes, sir.
privacy fence. Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know if it'll be right on the property line, it'll be on their property.
It'll be on our property, so they'll
There will be a privacy fence around.
Well, I have a 10-foot easement from my property to the
Land.
fence line over there.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be an alley, but now it's just weeds.
Well, the fence will be on their property.
But now then, I'm in Johnson County. I'm not in the city of Venus.
Right.
And that doesn't matter. The city ordinance the city ordinance protects everyone here. If you've read the city ordinance, it's 7 pages of rules and regulations for a mobile home park, and it protects everyone here. I mean, you should look it up and you should read it, and you would feel a lot more comfortable about how this mobile home park is going to be ran, about the things that we have to do and the things that we want to do to make sure that we run a good mobile home park. I mean, it's going to be as hard as getting into an apartment complex. We're going to do background checks. We're going to do criminal backgrounds. We're going to, just everyone, you can't come and say, oh, we're going to fill these houses. Our investor is a brilliant man. He's very successful, and our property management style is going to be the same as any high-end apartment complex that you would go to. We're going to have beautiful, brand new concrete roads. We're going to redo County Road 214. And that builds a lot of equity.
2 quick questions. Are y'all with Legacy Homes? You're how did you put it? Brick and mortar homes? Legacy Homes?
Legacy manufactured housing.
Okay.
This
There are Legacy Homes.
Yes,
Also.
there'll be Legacy Homes. Yeah.
I'm talking about a builder such as Patriot Estates. They build, I call them stick houses.
Oh no, we're not with the single family
yeah.
brick and mortar homes. No, sir. They're just he only builds manufactured
You
housing.
gotta do
Okay.
the road work
Yeah.
before you start bringing stuff in.
We would like to do. And that's going to happen once we get our approval. Then we're going to work with the city council to figure out in what stages are we going to go.
Cause you're gonna have big trucks bringing stuff in.
There'll be some larger for a little while, very sporadically, and not on a daily basis. There will be some.
You got bases, you got gravel,
That's
you
right.
got
Yeah.
sewer pipe, you got
But
all
what we're
kinds of
gonna
trucks
be-
that are gonna be running our roads that are already a mess.
Well, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be restructuring that. It's got to be redone somehow, and why not at our expense?
But I'll say this, why would you fix the street and then run those heavy trucks over and tear them back up?
Right.
I mean,
Because they're so bad.
and then they're gonna be really bad again. Just a second, Joe, I'll get to you, sir. You get your hand up.
So the homes you're moving in, they're gonna be rentals?
So they're going to be a rental. It's a rental park, and the reason we want a rental park is that we have control over a rental park. If there are going to be some tenants that are going to come in and they're going to want to own a home, but these are good people that have saved $10,000 and $15,000 down and have good jobs or retired, and they're going to want to come and live in this community. We're going to cut the grass for everyone. It's ran just like an HOA. We're gonna hire locals to come in and cut the grass. I've already talked to a bunch of guys out here that own lawn businesses. There's gonna be a lot of good revenue that's gonna come from the place.
Joe, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. I've attended most of these meetings over the last several years. I'm hearing 2 different things at one time, and I think tonight you said these will all be new homes.
Yes, sir.
Several months ago, you turned to 4 or 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Would you clarify?
Yes.
Will they be brand new homes or will they be used homes?
With the new investor, with Kurt Hodson being the owner of Legacy Housing, he has brand new homes. They're gonna be all brand new houses, every last one of them.
I think this is the difference in, he changed investors, and this man has much more that he's willing to invest than the previous investors, so they've been able to upgrade him.
So we could just let install all new homes.
We're gonna install all new homes.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just, about the population for the school and stuff. I've complained about the traffic to the police officers, and they said that the school is supposed to monitor and have somebody helping the kids cross the street and stuff on 214. And nothing's ever been done, and we don't have kids in school anymore, and we have trouble even driving up and down by 109 because all the cars are blocking it instead of getting other
Yeah.
kids in the
both
back.
sides, and you can't get to the stop sign. And I've talked to the superintendent myself about it, and I also talked to Mr. Hernandez about it as well, because a kid's gonna get hit. I mean, it's only a matter of time before that happens. We have no sidewalks.
So ask me for
It's
sidewalks.
nothing but a ditch, but we're county. County won't put in sidewalks.
I will put in sidewalks.
And,
Just to go across the road.
and you
Yeah.
still have to cross the road, and will the dog catcher come out there and handle just that area? Because we don't wanna deal with
If
dumb
it's in-
dogs.
if
We
it's
already
in-
have to deal with coyotes.
If it, I don't know, we're gonna send him out there for a coyote, but if it's in the city limits, even if it's a coyote, he'll be out there, if it's in the city limits. Now, if down the road, when we can, if y'all wanna come to the city limits, then the dog catcher will come to your house.
Well, but you are making it a coyote problem because you're taking their land away. And you're bringing in more animals, which is what they're gonna go after. Which means they're also gonna go after our dogs.
Yes, ma'am, I understand, and right
So
out here
it's creating a
where
problem.
Patriot Estates is building these, eventually 1,400 homes, which will triple the size of Venus if they do that, the economy holds that they build all the homes that they bought land for, over 350 acres, they're looking at 11 to 1,400 homes. I grew up out there, I plowed ground, I was a farmer out there on that, my dad and my uncle was out there on that ground. There was snakes, rabbits, jackrabbits. You see any jackrabbits in this part of the country anymore? Not much, they chased them all out. That's progress. They did it up at Little Lamb, they did it. We cannot tell people they can't build, we just can try to control it.
Well, that's the thing, we have too many houses out here and not enough businesses to support them.
And it's becoming more of a bedroom community than an industrial community, but we can't force people. I mean, we've given incentives to get industrial in here, and they still haven't come because everybody wants to be located on 35 or 287, not kind of in the middle where they got to drive to it. Sabre, they picked that out right up because they wanted to be right there close to 35. I mean, sometimes, as they say in the real estate market, is location. And we're not in the optimal location for industrial. So we're becoming a bedroom community, unfortunately.
And that's why we're gonna become a ghost town like we did in the 50s.
A ghost town? Seems like you're gonna be a lot of houses around here and ain't nobody living in them while they're building them.
Exactly.
If
That's
they're
my
gonna be a
point.
ghost town, I mean, everybody has to have a place to live. They're fit to put in industrial over here in Midlothian, and it's gonna create over 400 more jobs right across the street from, TXI and Chaparral. Those people gotta have a place to live.
Who's
And,
coming
now,
in?
and a lot of that housing they're building in Midlothian, those jobs won't support owning a $300,000-400,000 home. So they come over here and buy $225,000, maybe $180,000 home. And if they can't afford that, maybe they can live in a nice rental home. I mean, you still raise their children and have a place to go home and watch TV at night. I mean,
Then we won't be a small town and we won't be a country town anymore.
Yes, ma'am, this is true, and that's unfortunate. I remember when there was only 400 people living in this town, and it's way beyond that now.
We lived here when there was
I knew
300.
everybody, and unfortunately, everybody knew me. And they knew my dad, so when I got in trouble, I didn't get home before he found out. We don't live in that town anymore already. It's gone, and to me, it's unfortunate, because it was a pretty neat little town. But people, it's gonna grow whether it's this park or some other developer, it's coming. We have plans to help with the traffic. I will tell you right now, because I don't know if it's gonna happen. It will happen, I just don't know if it's gonna happen in this year, 2 years, or 5 years. We wanna take 214, go behind the football field, extend it all the way out to 67 and make another major thoroughfare into town, and through town, and out to the school system to alleviate a lot of the traffic that's over here by the post office and coming through main town.
That's where the new high school's supposed to go.
Well, they're gonna need a road too. I mean, you know, it's gonna grow whether we want it to, whether the coyotes want it to or not. It's coming, and we just gotta try to manage it best we can. Now, he has a list here of signatures that he's going around town that people that are not wrote on here they were not opposed to this park, and it's, you know, just signatures after signatures after signatures. I understand that a lot of these people probably don't live there, out there, and buy that piece of property.
May I turn in my petition too?
And I didn't just get signatures. You know, walking up to a homeowner and explaining a project. I've been in front of Venus for the past month or two, knocking on doors and having long conversations with a lot of the homeowners here. And the long conversations were, you know, they asked me a lot of questions, and it's hard to get one signature. But I have, I think, almost 200 signatures here of people who, once we educated them and let them know, look, we are not, this isn't going to be a half-assed, excuse me, but a half-done mobile home park. This is going to be, this investor has the capacity to build 30 of them at one time if he wants to. This is going to be an absolutely beautiful mobile home park that Venus should be proud of. It's going to cost about $20 million to get done. So you're going to have this beautiful monstrosity of a mobile home park that's really out of city limits.
And right in front of our homes.
Yeah, out there where we live, that's gonna make
It's gonna make all of our stuff look like crap. All the furniture's out there now.
Well, just talk to us about, you know, we've talked to some of the other people about helping out with new homes, some of the neighbors, bringing out new homes and doing something with the older ones, selling them and giving them to some of the old fields. I mean, there's a lot of options for you if you're concerned about your older mobile home. We own the manufacturing company. We own the financing. So there's a lot of options for our neighbors. I mean, we would like to see the community look a lot better.
I hate to rush this along, but, you know, we're supposed to start the city council meeting at 7, it's already 7:15. This is not the only public hearing that we're gonna have on this. We're required to have 2 public hearings before the council can legally take any action on this request, so there will be another public hearing. I believe maybe next time we need to start it at 6 instead of 6:30, so we'll have a little more time. Is there any other questions, pertinent questions anybody wants answered tonight?
Will there be a playground park in the community?
Yes, sir.
We've already requested that. Yes, sir. Okay. Is there any questions from the council? Ms. President?
Has this land been bought already?
Yes.
It has been bought?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you say you're gonna put a road in on 214, what kind of road are you putting in? Are you putting asphalt, are you putting chip seal? Or
Just whatever the city requirements are. That's what we're gonna go with, the city requirements.
That's patchwork.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, they just fill in little patches here and there.
No, it's gonna be redone.
Have you been down to 14?
Yes, 1,000 times.
Yes.
If not
I
more.
bet you drove real slow, didn't you?
Yeah, it's not pretty.
We fixed 109, we fixed 109, the first complaint I had was there's speeders down this road. Well, before there was enough holes, they couldn't speed. But we did fix it, yes ma'am.
Do you own the land?
I don't own them, the investors own the land.
And the investor is the person that wanting to put in this mobile home park.
Yes, right now, the person who owns the land is the investor that we were going with in the first place. Now, he has been talking to our investor, and they're putting in money or whatever, it's gonna happen. But yeah, the land is owned by the first investor that went in with me on this deal. Now they have a partnership, and things might happen between them two.
So the for sale sign
That was put,
should not be up there.
it really shouldn't.
So it's already a done deal?
It's not a done deal. It's not a done deal until the city gives us the approval for manufactured housing for that property.
I think what you're trying to say is a conditional sale based on the approval of the zoning change. It's like, you go buy a house on the condition that you sell your house. It's a conditional sale. Yes. Yes, sir.
There is a big difference in a manufactured home and a mobile home. Try buying your insurance. If you go in as wanting to buy insurance for a mobile home and a manufactured home, there's several $1,000s difference.
Okay.
So he keeps using them back and forth. Mobile home and manufactured home.
Well,
Two
these will be
different
both.
things. One has a deed, one has a title.
So you're talking about mobile.
We're talking about mobile home.
Mobile home.
Okay, well,
And-
that's different than manufactured.
And they can be called manufactured housing also.
No, manufactured has a deed. I know, I have one.
Manufactured
I'm the green and
homes
white
are
one
attached
across
to the grant.
street.
Modular has a deed, that's a.
Modular, that's right.
We live
Modular has a
directly across the street.
Right.
But it's also called a
So-
manufactured home.
Any other questions for the council?
Just keep in mind also that the code enforcer has every right to go over there and say, hey, well, time out. This house needs to be tore down or replaced or whatever. And so he can work with us also to make sure that that place will be a nice place.
Well, yeah, it's all gonna be rental houses, you said.
Yes.
Will they have option to buy later on?
Later
The reason
on.
that I'm asking is, somebody's gonna go in there, move out 6 months, tear that place up. Are y'all gonna keep those houses up? Or are you gonna move houses back in?
Well, being the manufacturer, we have the ability to rehab anything that we want at a very low expense. So a renter anywhere in a brand new home, apartment complex, if they're gonna stay there 6 months and tear the place up, somebody has to go in and redo it.
That's one property versus 300.
That's right, yeah, and the apartment complex has 250 to 300 doors. So they deal with the same type of in and out, and we'll be able to do the same thing. If someone comes in and tears a house up and it's unsightly, we bring it out and we put a new one in. We own the homes. So there's a lot that we can do that most manufactured mobile home owners cannot do or will not do.
Well, if y'all would, please consider what you've heard tonight. Any other questions come to mind, write them down, make a note, come to the next public hearing. We'll probably have it at 6 to 6:30, so we'll have more time for discussion. But nothing can be done, we assure you, that nothing can be done legally by this council until we have at least 2 public hearings, and this is just the first one, so there will be one more.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, ma'am.
One more question? If we're considered where I live, Johnson County, then how come I have to pay Venus school taxes
Because
instead of Cleveland?
Venus School is in Johnson County, and you live in the Venus School District in Johnson County, so you pay the school taxes to the school in the county that you live in.
And all the other taxes I paid for Cleveland.
And you pay Johnson County road taxes, Johnson
Yeah.
County taxes, Commissioner Court taxes, and then you also pay the Venus school taxes. And if you lived in the city limits, you would also pay the city of Venus taxes. You'd have 3 different taxes, so, which
I
I
never
do.
understood, because I'm out of the city limits and I thought, should I be paying them instead of here?
It's all, the county and the school all collected in one. Okay, I'm gonna adjourn this public hearing at 7:21. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
James.
Take about a 5-minute recess.